So yesterday, and this was interesting to me because we have seen over the years sort of the morphing of sports reporting and sports entertainment and big stars merging so that whatever the entity is, in this case, it's ESPN and Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, and I cannot resist the sirens call. This is all great content for the machine. It is funny to me that everyone here is being more childish than Bronny, because Stephen A. is calling LeBron a liar, which I have not seen him do a lot of. Like, that seems like an escalation. Stephen A. a liar on television. I don't think that's something he does all of the time. I think that is very strong as we continue to push the boundaries on these relationships, and as Stephen A. gets rewarded for all the things that he is, and as LeBron goes on McAfee and they create content between all of the shows and try to get integration between all of the shows, you get LeBron saying, yeah, sure, Stephen A. wants to sit this out. He says he didn't want to talk about it. Sure. And then he puts him in tighty-whities eating ice cream, enjoying that LeBron confronted him during a game. But the childishness in it, beyond I would have swung at him and he would have kicked my ass and all the nonsense that men do when they're being silly around the soap opera. The idea that LeBron is mad and that Stephen A. thinks he's mad and keeps coming at him with, you're not my GOAT, you're not the best, you're the second best. Shannon Sharpe thinks you're the best. It's 7-year-olds. That's how 7-year-olds would do all of this. And it is passing for content I cannot resist. You can't resist it.
I can. I was ashamed yesterday. All of it. Both of them, everybody. And then the things, and seeing the reactions. Man, this is quite possibly the biggest journalist who covers the sport and the biggest name player who plays the sport. And if I'm Adam Silver, you get him on the phone and say, enough. This is embarrassing. This does not represent our sport. And by the way, LeBron said a lot of stuff yesterday that I was just like, what are you talking about? Giannis has scored 200 in a game. He said, "Oh, Brian Windhorst says he's my friend." I'm like,
that I didn't like.
I've known Brian Windhorst for at least 10 years personally, and I read his work for 10 years before that. I have never heard him say, insinuate, like hint, try to act like not even close. Damn, I've never heard Brian say that about people who he's actually friends with. So for LeBron to say that matter-of-factly, to tee up a McAfee lame-ass Photoshop of, oh, he was your teammate, oh, there he was, and they Photoshop him. Like, it was so, because LeBron had a problem that Brian said the reason why he signed with Nike, whatever. And my thing was like, okay, so say he was wrong. He's never said he was your friend, never acted like he was your friend. It was, all of it was just so odd. He called him weird. I'm like, that's weird, dude. Thinking that someone's your friend or whatever. So the thing, Dan, I say to all of that is like, LeBron has a responsibility, just like Stephen A. has a responsibility, that when they say things, yes, they're human. Yes, their feelings get hurt. Yes, they react and lash out. But the problem is, when you're at that place, you can't do that because your words hold more credibility than a regular person just lashing out or say, oh, man, that dude thinks he's my friend or whatever. In the same way, Dan, that a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever, you said, why aren't people asking about LeBron using PEDs? And I said to you, Dan, you can't say that. You can't say that. And you're like, why not? I'm not saying he is. I'm saying why aren't more people asking? I said, Dan, because when you say that, there is a credibility behind that leads millions of people to be like, oh, see, the number of people I had, friends of mine, like, finally, someone's saying the quiet part out loud. I mean, no.
I had a lot of NBA players texting me, and I couldn't, like,
but because I saw it. You thought you were just doing this intellectual exercise. And I'm telling you, no. When you say that, people take it as gospel because Dan Le Batard is someone whose opinion is held up here. Stephen A. Smith is someone whose opinion is held up here. LeBron James is someone whose opinion is held up here. And when these guys talk flippantly in that way, it hurts our sport. It's embarrassing.
You're interesting in this respect because two things are in play that have been interesting watching you in this world over the last several years make a career, the career that you have, as you, like all of us, have aged. You're not wrong in saying that this is shameful, but you are protecting your beloved sport and asking the commissioner to step in on famous people doing what is the natural evolution of everything we've been doing over the last 15 years in media with and around LeBron. This is all part of the game for the last 15 years on what these two human beings have wrought near and around this sport. And when you say it's bad for the sport and the commissioner should step in, I think you're wrong. Now, it could be bad for the sport in that you're tired of storylines, that we're talking about drama instead of that as the oldest player in the league, he makes the last shot against Indiana on the road last night at the buzzer, and we're going to talk about all the other garbage instead of that, instead of the game. You'd be right there, but you sound like you're clutching rosary beads in protection of your sport as the media and game evolve around it, and as those two aging superstars, Stephen A. and LeBron, try to keep up in the modern game of attention is currency.
Stephen A.